Good.
Kan ik met diamond gaan?
Ja. Wat was dat met jou? Beetje olive oil.
Beetje olive oil, beetje lemon juice. Lemon juice gaan we net helpen om die vet weer af te breken. Tendens af te breken. Dan zal hij misschien niet zo lang vatten.
So once again, you say lemon juice and olive oil.
Yeah, lemon juice and olive oil.
To.
If it was a little bit longer, you would put in vinegar. You just let it lie in the brine and then.
So what is the olive oil and vinegar for? What does it do to the meat?
The lemon juice will just break off the tendons in the meat itself.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the olive oil
The olive oil is just because the dry rub. The olive oil will just help to get the dry rub into the meat itself.
Okay, that's good. It's perfect. Is the diamond shape any significance, or is that just...
No significance, probably just for aesthetics, probably just looks better.
Okay, cool.
Okay. There's a whole lot of different spices in here. It's mostly flavors that go with a little bit of pork. You know, your cumin.
So, cumin?
Cumin, yellow mustard, the whole mustard seed. The normal black mustard.
Okay.
Aniseed, nutmeg, a little bit of cinnamon, ginger powder. I used Himalayan salt because it's not as iodidated as your normal salt.
Exactly.
So it's got a more profound taste.
Yeah.
Normal salt, you can have it for as a condiment.
Yeah.
But if you want really a pronounced salt, that's why you don't spice or you don't salt the meat beforehand.
Yeah.
So then you just have it in there. Black pepper, coarse black pepper. A little bit in the pestle and water, you just crunch it up. So then white pepper also, because white pepper also adds a little bit of a different taste to it. Then you got your chili flakes. I didn't use chili powder. I used chili flakes and I used a little cayenne pepper. So it's not everybody likes to eat.
The cayenne pepper you're talking about the powdered one, though.
The powdered one, yeah.
But the flakes, you didn't use powder. You used the actual.
No, I used the actual flakes.
Is that the one that we normally get, the crushed chilies?
The crushed chilies, yeah.
So that's the flakes that you would normally get. I see you going on the sides as well.
Yeah.
That's also going to be quite important. I think people forget that.
Yeah. So obviously, once you put it on the coals, the fat will actually render off, and then it will go into the meat. It will make that, but getting a little spice on it, then you have that taste all over the meat itself. So as you can see, it goes into the fat, it goes into the meat itself.
Yeah, it's going to searing into the meat.
And that's it.
Alright.
Most of the fat's off. That will be fine.
So is this now it for the preparation?
That's for preparation, yeah.
Alright, now okay, once again for the actual type of pork again, is it? What cut of meat?
Pork belly.
Pork belly?
Yeah. There's this bone in, so obviously you get more taste and more flavor from the bone in as well.
Actually closer to the bone, more flavor.
Most of the flavor.
Alright, so now we've prepared, so once again, just those spices again for
the spices. You've got cumin in here, barisha, aniseed, nutmeg, cinnamon, ginger powder, Himalayan salt, coarse black pepper. You got two types of mustard, the yellow sweet mustard and the whole black mustard.
Okay.
And what I said, aniseed, a little bit of white pepper also, crushed chilies, cayenne pepper. I added a little smoked paprika and a little sweet paprika.
Oh, excellent.
There is
just for the variance of flavors?
Yeah, so variance. There is a little bit of a difference in the taste of the two.
Okay.
The sweet paprika it's just a better taste for me actually.
And for the recap on the actual olive oil and the lemon?
The olive oil and the lemon obviously just to break down whatever tendons there at halves or decreases the cooking time.
Oh,
the olive oil just to let the dry rub just...
Is it like a facilitator?
Yeah, it just helps the dry rub get into the meat itself.
Okay.
That makes them more stick to the meat, so that when you fry it, it's not just... Sometimes when the dry rub, you're going to get a little burnt taste. That will actually be in the meat itself, so it won't be a problem with that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Alright, thank you.
Okay. Let's start. It's just a little marinade.
Yeah.
dry spice rub that we put on.
What's in the spice rack?
Well, there's a lot of different spices. I'll start with the simple. It's Himalayan salt, which is much better than normal salt, the iodinated salt. You've got your black pepper, you've got white pepper, smoked and sweet paprika, nutmeg, aniseed, sweet yellow mustard, whole grain mustard. There's a little bit of coriander in there, cumin, the brown sugar, the white sugar, just for that. And then it's just a little bit of sauce that we made on with the lemon juice and the olive oil.
Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah.
How long is this going to take, Kurt?
Well, it depends on the coals.
And if you look at the coals now, you're looking at what?
The coals is still a little bit high, so it's probably going to take about just under an hour or so. And it depends on crisping up the fat also.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kurt.
Thank you.
Let's continue. Alright, so we're going to be starting with the basting.
Yeah, this is basically the spices that we had with olive oil, the lemons and the honey. Obviously we're going to turn it around and we just want the fat to get crispy.
And how long are we going now? Half an hour.
45 minutes.
About 45 minutes, yeah. The coals were a little bit too hot.
A little bit warm on the
Yeah.
coals, so
We just had to move it a little bit so
we've moved the coals around to accommodate the pork belly. So so we got
The belly. No,
The
just
belly.
say the belly. I'll eat it later.
yeah, we got belly anyway.
Maar zo'n belly betalen ooit?
that's going to get turned around again, so just to get a little bit of rendering of the fat also.
Kijk, als je focus wel uit, dan kan het gauw krijgen. Kan het genoeg van. Maar die beef is een hamsteek dat ik ga brengen daar. Die pullen het. Dat is even bij me. En dan is mijn ode man. Dan nog een dag hangen, of 2 dagen. Ze kan het misschien.
Alright.
Yeah.
It's not perfectly done, it's done to an erection. I mean perfection.
Jullie missen, los het zo.
We're getting some amazing reactions here. For one, the inside is done
Yeah.
to absolute perfection.
Can I?
It's
still hot.
So way very hot.
Yeah.
Okay, Kurt, when you're done cutting it, can I just get a close up of that one?
You need to invent a phone that can have a smell.
Okay, so what we're doing now is we're going to do a bit of a veggie potjie, and we're going to use some red onions as well as usual onions, and we're going to have some mushrooms. We're going to add some carrots. We're also going to add some potatoes, and then we're going to add some mixed veg. There's some carrots in there, there's cauliflower, there's broccoli. We're going to put that there together, right? So in the first place, what we do is do the onions. Oh my goodness, I'm not doing it very well now because. Okay, that's fine. Oopsie. This only happens when you're really excited. And we're gonna put all that together, mix it up, red and normal onions or white onions. The red onions are actually quite a bit sweet, so they're gonna add a little bit more extra flavor to that, I think. I'm gonna hope that Kurt agrees with me. Kurt, what do you say?
Indeed, I just wanted to say it's a much sweeter onion than the white.
That's right. So that's exactly why we're gonna do the red as well. And then I'm gonna add some mushrooms to that. And the only reason why I'm adding the mushrooms because this is a bit of a green. And I'm adding to this because mushrooms actually hold a lot of water. So I'm gonna put them in with the onions. I'm gonna put the mushrooms in with the onions so that they cook up and fry up together. Put them all in together. I don't know if Kurt would agree with me with that, but okay. Do you agree with me, Kurt, or not?
Yeah.
No, be honest, be
No,
honest.
it's fine if you put the onions, the mushrooms also in at the same time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
It's
And
just
then
because of the
you
water,
want
man.
that. Yeah,
I
it's
actually
natural.
think- yeah. So I'm gonna render them down. Basically, I'm gonna render them down. I'm going to cook these until there's no more water in the pot. Because the mushrooms hold a lot of water. So I'm only gonna render them down so that there's no more water in the pot, and then I'll add the meat. And we're doing a lamb knuckle kind of thing this evening. Doing lamb knuckle, and then once we're done with the lamb knuckle, then and only then I'm gonna add what did I say? Carrot, and then also potatoes as well. But the carrot and the potatoes, in fact, the potatoes will be soft, but the carrots won't be completely soft because I want them to be have a bit of a crunch there to them. For me, the mushrooms are only there for flavor, really, because I love a mushroom flavor. So that's why I'm putting them in at the beginning. And because they hold a lot of water, I don't want them to have that whole feeling at the end, with all that. I don't want it to be very watery. So I'm just going to finish all of that. Oops, I think this one is not done. It looks like a big bowl of stuff here, but that's going to be rendered down so quickly. If I am correct, just please don't feel, you feel obligated. I want you to feel obligated to comment here because I am learning actually quite a bit from Kurt. If you don't know, Kurt actually made the pork belly earlier on, and it was fantastic. I tasted it, by the way, earlier on, Kurt, and it was great.
Thank you.
I have to say, it was great, and I'm actually learning quite a bit from Kurt. So, all of this I'm going to be putting into that one bowl. That's going to be going in the first place. I'm going to be adding some kind of spice to that. In the meantime, no, wait, where's my mixer there? So with the mixer, Brian's going to give me a bit of a mixer here. I'm going to put all of those together. And then I'm going to add, just for fun, while we're waiting on Dwayne, I will add 1 carrot to that. And I actually don't know how this is going to taste. In fact, Kurt might give me some more advice as to how this is going to go, but I don't know.
As you said, the carrots will add a lot of crunch to it, especially when you put it at the end of it.
Yeah,
Or
but this
after
one,
all the.
this one specifically, Kurt, I'm actually putting to render down, but I'm going to put it in with the green pepper and stuff.
Okay, and the mushrooms.
And the mushrooms, so I'm going to mix it up. I've got my little mixer here. It's a fantastic blade thingy, which I love very much, and I cannot afford. I wish I could afford it. If I could afford it, I would get it like literally yesterday. But okay. Put that in. Put them all together and just turn it. that should be done. And there you go. As quick and easy as that. I don't know why I chopped earlier. Okay, so that's going in there. Some carrot flakes, some green pepper, red pepper, yellow pepper. That's all going in there.
Almost basically a salsa.
Basically a salsa, yeah. Right. Then I'm going to put in actual fact with the mushrooms and onions and stuff. The other things I'm putting in now, I'm going to be adding carrots. I'm just chopping off the edges and then chopping them off. That's it. Nothing else. And obviously I'm going to be rinsing them off. So that, but they'll go into the pot more or less. For the bigger ones, I'll chop them into 3. Only for the bigger ones though. The others I'll keep at 2. Maybe some of them 4.
But you also don't want it too small because then it will obviously cook away.
Then they'll cook away. You're 100% right there. Thank you. Gwen's gonna rinse that off for us. And then with regards to the potatoes, I'm actually going to just half them because I love the skin on the potatoes in a potjie, first of all. Secondly, it gives that rugged flavor to it. It gives it a potjie flavor, an earthy flavor. Beautiful word, thank you. Gives it a bit of an earthy flavor, and I actually just love it because the fact of the matter is, whether you agree with it or not, the flavor of the potato, all the potatoes are, or at least the whole of the potato can be used.
Yeah.
Whether you agree with it or not, the whole of the potato can be used. I'm actually going to put them to the side because I didn't get another one, so I'm going to put all the halves that I've done. I'm going to put on the one side and then carry on with the rest. And obviously this is going to be rinsed off, so we're just basically finishing what we've done here. And once we've halved them, we'll put them back into the jar, into the bowl, and we will rinse them off. It also cooks faster in this way. So, in other words, I'm not going to leave it for the end. I am, in actual fact, leaving it for the end, but not too. I'm not going to let them cook too long because I don't need to. Only because they are hard and they don't need to be cooked that long. But if we had left them whole, they would in actual fact take not even twice, but thrice the amount of time that they would have taken if they were halved. So because of that, just halving them and halving the amount of time they need to go in there. Okay, so Dwayne found us another bowl, and we're going to put all of those into the bowl. And once that's done, Dwayne will rinse them off, and when they are ready, and our prep is done. Thank you, Dwayne. So we have our mushroom and red onion, white onion. We've got our carrots that are well, diced, sliced kind of thing. We have our completely diced and sliced red onion and yellow onion, as well as carrots in there, which we're going to put in with the red onion and the mushrooms. And then also we've got a bit of a mixed veg here, which is cauliflower and broccoli, and with a couple of added strips of carrot. But that we're going to try and put in closer to the end because these things cook away very fast. So carrots and broccoli, or at least broccoli and cauliflower, cook away very quickly. And we're only going to be wanting them to be crispy. We don't want them to be completely cooked away. We don't want to see them in the pot just floating around. We want them to be, when you bite into them, we want them to still have a bit of a crunch to it, right? So once we're done with that, we'll get back to you. Thank you, Granville. Okay, so we got it sizzling here. We've added the red onions, white onions, as well as mushrooms. I'm gonna let them go for a while because what I want them to do is I actually want to let the mushrooms render down all that water, because mushrooms hold a whole lot of water. So I'm gonna render that down. Once that's done, then we'll add the rest of the ingredients. These things have been going for a while. The mushrooms, as well as the onions, the red onions, white onions. I'm gonna add some green pepper and then some diced carrots, as well as yellow pepper. I'm gonna add that to it, and then after that, we're gonna add the meat, which is mutton. No, I'm lying, not mutton. It's gonna be lamb knuckles. I'm gonna add that to it. Then I'm gonna add all my spices. I'll tell you what the spices are a bit later on. And then after that, we're going to be adding the carrots and potatoes, because they're more or less got the same density, so they'll be cooking together. And then we'll add cauliflower as well as broccoli closer to the end of it, and they should all give the same consistency across the board. So let's see how that goes, but later on we'll show you the finished product when we're done. What we're going to do is add the lamb knuckles. I'm going to add that to it. I'm just going to let it go for a while on this hot coals here, because I want a little bit of a crust to it. So I'm going to let it go for a while. I'm going to close the lid, and then in about 10 minutes or so I'll change it, and then we'll add some water and let it cook for a while. Okay, so so far the knuckles have been going for a while with everything, and I mean everything. I've added the all the onions, all the potatoes, the carrots, the green peppers, yellow peppers, and so on. I've added no spice thus far, none whatsoever. Okay, but what I am going to do now is I'm going to be adding a mixture that I've made, and the mixture is in actual fact double cream yogurt. It's got some my goodness, this I'm going to edit, so it's fine. I'm going to add some, I added some shishinyama spice to this. I've added some salt, I've added some pepper, and then also some fresh cream as well. But I'm going to add some more fresh cream a bit later. But this is just to let it cook. I'm going to let it go for a while. So I'm going to stir that in. Put it all in there. So this is going to go for about 10-15 minutes just to get all of that in there. Double cream yogurt, shishinyama spice, salt, pepper, and fresh cream. A little bit. I'm going to stir that up just to get all those flavors in there. And then in about 15-20 minutes we'll check it again and we'll get back to you. Okay, so it's been going for a while, and what we're going to do now is add the broccoli, and then also you'll notice that there's very thin carrot strips in there. I'm going to add a little bit of water to the mixture we made earlier on, and then I'm going to stir that up. The reason why I put the broccoli and stuff in last is basically because they are much, well, the texture is a bit thinner, so they'll take less time to cook. And this shouldn't be long. It should be like 15-20 minutes, and then we should be done with that quickie. So I'm going to take it off now. Everything should be good. Like I said, we had our double thick yogurt. We had some cream in there. We had some shishinyama spice. We had salt, pepper, and that's it. So now I'm going to take it off. Hopefully everybody tastes, and hopefully it's good. Okay, so smells good, looks good, still piping hot, so we're gonna let it rest for 10-15 minutes or so. I actually might add a little bit of some thick, some soup just to thicken it up a bit while it's boiling like this, and then we'll see how it looks after that. Okay, so what we're doing now is adding just the last little bit of thick vegetable soup. It's a packet that you get anywhere, actually. Just gonna add that up, and then I'm gonna mix it up. Stir that into there. Just gonna thicken it up a bit, and besides that, add a little bit of flavor to it. And we'll see how it looks in about 10 minutes or so. But it should be good.
Mr. Carter, this is very nice. Try me, Oliver. Some more.
I love it. Thank you. Thank you.